I have such an amazing topic to be sharing with all of you today. Okay. And yes, okay. So today I want to give you a little bit of like a taste of what mastering the art of retreat planning is, like really give you the experience that all my students have, because it's like so beautiful for me to be able to share this with more people. And the way this works is I'm going to talk for like about, half an hour or so. I don't know. It depends on like, I get usually very inspired and sometimes, I go longer, but I'll talk for a little while. Then I'll tell you a little bit about like mastering the art of retreat planning and, who is this for? And if just for you to know. And then at the end, I'm going to do live coaching. So if you have some questions that you want to get out there about your own retreats, any question is open, right? Like there's no wrong question here, and there's no questions are like forbidden or, oh, this is something that I'm not going to teach you here, right? So just stay on to the end, because I love life coaching and this is so, so important. Okay, so today I want to talk about money. Yes, the reason I'm bringing in this conversation today is because inside of like my program, Mastering the Art of Retreat Planning, we are having this week, we are all about energetic marketing and sales. And this is one topic that really gets me super, super excited. And I love talking about money, because I love to have an awesome relationship with it. It doesn't mean I've had it all my life. I actually had to go through a lot to figure out and then now get excited while I'm spending money. Like I go to coffee shops or like for lunch with my friends, and like the bill is here and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is so good. And my friends are like, but Lainey, like you're paying a bill. I'm like, yes, but this bill represents that we spent a couple of hours together connecting, that we had some good food. It's about the moments that we shared. It's not about the money, right? And I'm like, okay, right? And they're like, that's a different way to see things, right? And I'm like, I actually like paying bills and I like getting money and I like it to be moving, because I really consider money and energy. And as I was saying earlier, like right now it's raining outside my house. It's like, it's been raining for many hours. This is not like a common thing like here in Cuernavaca, but it's like been raining for many hours. And my dog is outside with his cousins. They're all outside. They're all soaking wet. I cannot bring them inside the house because it's like, so they're so wet. Like, and then if they all come together inside, they're going to just like go on top of my furniture and it's going to be like a mess, right? So it's raining. And I was like thinking about it. I was sitting with the rain and I was just like, oh my gosh, like rain is also energy, right? Like if we consider money energy, rain is also energy. And it's just like so, so powerful. And I was thinking about like, what is the beautiful like powers of like rain, right? The beautiful thing about rain is that it like nurtures the energy of every single person that is in here, right? Like everything that we want to be creating is nurtured by the rain, for example, right? And the rain is like, it's kind of like a channel, right? So if it's on top of roses, and roses will flourish. And if it's on top of wheat, wheat will flourish, right? So if we think about energy and how we can use energy together to our advantage when it comes to like retreats or online courses, anything that you're doing, is like, how can I use all the energy that is around me to support this process? Okay, I know this was a little bit like, what? And I was like listening to like one of my coaches, Kathy Heller, she having like a 3-day challenge, and I was like listening to her and I got so inspired, and I'm like overflowing with like so many things that I want to share, right? And I was just like, I already knew what I wanted to talk about, and now I'm just like, oh, but if I add this, if I add that other thing, like it's amazing. And then we could stay here for like 3 months or 3 hours just talking about money and energy. Because if we see money as energy and we see it as a like something that allows us to expand, a conduct for change and transformation, then we're changing the way we see money. Like, type a 1 in the chat if you agree that money is a conduit for many, many things, for expansion, for transformation. Yeah. Rachel and I were same page. Jane, yeah, awesome. Yes. Really, how can we just like nurture the energy of like money? And right now, okay, let's just take ourselves back few hundred thousands of years back, right? When like I mentioned I'm Mexican, right? Okay, so in Mexico, we have this pre-Hispanic cultures like Mayans, Aztecs, very cool people, very Mayans, super amazing astrologers. Anyway, so there was no green bills to exchange things for money, but there was an energetic exchange for things, right? You would exchange things, and actually their coin was cacao. And that's why it's so important for them. And it's so important. And, there's like such a huge growth of like cacao ceremonies all over the world. And something that I want to share from here is like, there's this beautiful story about, cacao as like the trading coin for Mayans, right? So the way it used to be is like, for them, cacao is at heart opening, right? Like, it has all these chemicals inside it. I don't want to go into like the details. If you want to know more about it, you can like send me a message about it. But like, it has these chemicals that basically opens up our blood vessels. So it's a heart opener, literally, right? So because it's a heart opener for them, this is very important. So before they went to war, before they had councils to make decisions, before anything happened, they would drink cacao because they wanted to make sure that they were making their decisions from their heart, right? But at the same time, it was a coin for exchange because it was so valuable. It's like it was like gold, right? It was like their biggest, deepest possession because it opened up their hearts, right? So it was so powerful for them. And then, the Mayans are having their like good time opening up their hearts, like making sure that this like happened. Really, it was like, for like, cacao used to be just for the elite, right? It was like that. Then it started opening up, but at the beginning it was really for elite. So really like gold. And then the story goes that then the Spaniards come and they're looking for the gold, right? They're like, where is the gold? Where is the gold? We're looking for the gold. Like, we want all the gold that we've been promised. And the people just like share, not the Mayans because they didn't exist anymore, but they shared the cacao seeds. They're like, here's the gold. They're like, no, we want this shiny like thing that like clicks. And they would still show the cacao because for them, this was their gold, this was their money, this was their currency, right? So since the beginning of times, there has been a way of energetic exchange for one thing to the next. Right now, it's called bills, right? It's a bill, it can be a dollar bill, it can be a euro, it can be any type of coin. But this exchange of energy has always existed. It's just now there has been this kind of like programming from our families, from our ancestors, from like trauma, from many, many different places, that we think money is dirty. Like, type of one of the chat if you have heard anyone say that money is dirty. I certainly have, like, people would say, after you touched money, go wash your hands, right? Because money is dirty. Yeah, it's a common abundance block, yes. Dirty in many ways, yes. So I feel that when we are in a space where we want to really, really, really connected with who we are and our essence, we just gonna make peace and love and get excited about money. Like, if someone asks me, how do you feel about money? Like, I feel excited. Like, how do you feel about it? Because you know what I mean? Like, so many times when you're hosting a retreat or an online course or anything, the thing that is like blocking you from selling it is not really that the offer is not good or the copy is not good. So many times it's about like mindset. Yes. So if we take care of our mindset, then it just makes the path easier. Less contractions, right? So if we start seeing that money has been there since the beginning of times and it's just an amazing tunnel for us to create more things, then these like start shaping and shifting our mindset. Okay. Okay, so I just want to talk about like if we shift our energy in any different way, right? Like it doesn't matter if it's like, then people feel it, right? It's about resonance, it's about vibrations. So if I talk about something in a way that really feels aligned with me and someone else feels the same way, they're gonna be like, I want to spend more time with her, right? Like most of the people who work with me or like hang out with me, they become my friends. Like we just keep connecting, and it just makes so much sense. There's people who just like, they're like, I like your energy, and I'm like, I like yours. Let's just hang out together, right? Let's just do something crazy. Let's just change the world. I want that for you. I want that for everyone. I was just like so excited about just being here today and showing up and just talking about something that I'm truly, truly passionate about. And that for so long I kept quiet and I didn't really want to talk so much about like money, like for me, I had a belief system that was like, money makes you sick. Ooh, that's not cool, right? If you have too much, it makes you sick. If you have too little, it makes you sick. So I always kept saying like, I wanted enough. Instead of like unlimited, right? I said enough. And I was like, I don't want enough anymore, because the same way I want to travel the world and have experiences and just connect with more people and get to know them and help more people and just do something and have an amazing impact in the world. Like enough doesn't cut it for anything else. So why would it cut it for money, right? I know this is a little bit like, I am feeling like my energy, like very like, it's a little bit like, ooh, it wants to go up, but at the same time, it wants to be grounded. It's feeling a little bit interesting. But I want to just like talk more about like, how does this apply in retreats? Because I know a lot of the people who work with me are interested in retreats. And, just so you know, I have not always done like just like retreat consulting. I actually started doing consulting and coaching for spiritual entrepreneurs, like for the whole kind of like business holistic approach. And then I just loved retreats so much that I specialized on retreats. I just love the transformation inside of retreats. Like it has like changed my world. Like retreats have changed my world. Like a week ago, I was like, so, like now my computer, my computer and my phone, they're all at capacity on like storage. So I'm like, okay, this is probably time for like an upgrade. Like it means like maybe I need to have a hard drive or, all these kind of things, or iCloud or whatever that means. And I was like, it's at capacity. And I was like, why is it at capacity? Like, I'm like, I don't do so much. I just record like 5 or 6 sessions per week and just, like normal stuff. Anyway, so I was like looking to how to clear like some pictures of my phone, because everything like it's covered by pictures and videos and things that, some of many I don't even use. And then as I was doing that, I found the pictures of one of the first retreats I went to. Like it was not the first one, but maybe it was like the second or the third. I did like a 6-month retreat spree, right? I went like deep. And it was this women's retreat for like women. They wanted to have many people, but at the end, it turned out we were 13 women. Like some people canceled, we were gonna be 11, and then the last day 2 people signed up and we were 13, and it was just absolutely beautiful, because actually like it was women's work. So it was like 13 moons, right? There's 13 full moons throughout the year. So then it was just perfect because each person got to like to embody one of the moons. Isn't that like freaking like amazing? Like, isn't that like alignment? Like, it's so cool, right? And I was looking at those pictures and I could just like, I could see myself and I could see how much I changed. I could see how my face is completely different. Like, I am not the same person anymore after that. Like, there were these pictures of me. I was like, like it seemed very stiff. Like, you know, like my face, my factions, everything just. And as I started going through the pictures, going closer to the end, I could see how my face was shifting throughout it, right? Like, who here wants to have this transformation for people attending the retreats, that they show up with one face and live with another one? Right? Like, this is so powerful. Like, this is so, so powerful. Like, I have suggested to a couple of the people inside, like working with me and everything. What if you take a picture when people arrive and then you take a picture when they leave and see the difference? Because I can tell you my face shifted. And I said yes to this program because I honestly didn't really know what I was getting myself into. Okay. Like, honestly, my brother came to me and he's like, there's this women retreat happening. Do you want to go? And I'm like, okay. I just said yes. I had no idea what I got myself into. Deep, deep stuff. Really, I got to know myself so much more deeper, right? And that's how I fell in love with retreats. And I've been planning events since I'm 15 years old, right? So creating experiences was like already a thing that I love doing. And I was just like, what do I bring to the table, right? Like, I'm like, I already have the marketing skills, the operational skills, the event planning skills, everything, and it's missing something. And I was like, it's a transformation. I'm like, and retreats, they have every single thing plus a transformation. So I just knew. Many of you who are listening to this will relate to this. Like, there was a moment where you just knew that this is what you were going to do, right? You just knew. Like, who here knew already that this is what you wanted to do in your life? Like, honestly, I just like absolutely love it. And it's been such a wonderful, wonderful journey. And the deeper I go, the deeper I understand that is not even just like retreats that I teach, that people come into my programs and they shift their mindset. Like, I get messages from my 5-day challenge of people saying, in one session, you helped me unlock a limiting belief that I didn't even know I had. In one session, 1 hour. Why? Because I love what I do. I share possibilities, right? And that's why people are drawn to me, because I am honest to myself. I'm authentic, right? And this is the most important piece for me, being able to be true to my calling, to what I want to create. And the moment I feel I need to expand and I need to add more than retreats, it's going to happen. And it's going to be perfect. Right? Who feels like that? Like, who feels like their calling is so important and they just want to keep showing up? Definitely. One of the key factors for success in retreats is consistency. So I know this might feel a little bit like, oh my, what is she? She's like talking about this and talking about that. And then how is it all coming together? And I promise it's all coming together. It's all coming together. You know, we started with like money mindset, right? We started talking about money and how like we can become friends and like lovers with it and just like enjoy it. And, you know, every time someone pays me, like enjoy, like it's not really paying me, it's like joining one of my programs, like really like getting themselves into my like sphere, right? I dance because my body feels like moving. It's not like I fake it. It's just like I see it on my phone and I'm like, oh my God. And there's like this inner feeling that wants to just like dance, right? And then we spoke about our purpose, right? Like I spoke about my purpose and I want you to see yours. I want you to experience your purpose, this calling that is like so much bigger than your body, right? And something that your body cannot limit, you know, like we're like our soul is so massive and, you know, it's like, how does it get here? I have another story that I want to share with you in a moment, but then the next step that I spoke about is consistency. If no one knows what you're doing, how are they gonna transform their lives? So if you say, I want to help people transform their lives, I want to create impact in their world, so, you know, I want to do this, I want to do that, but then you don't tell anyone, how can you expect for this to really like, for someone to really transform? You know, it's like if you were inside your closet and you just kept saying, oh, you know, yes, I want to transform the world, I want to, and then you stay there and you never leave, right? Like, this is the thing. Like, we have to make sure that we are following our calling and we are telling people and we're being consistent about it. I cannot tell you how many people have come to me after like 1 year and 2 years of seeing me and then saying, now I'm ready. So many. Because some people are ready to buy today and some people will be ready to buy in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. That's okay. But if you stop showing up because you're like, oh, no one is signing up for my programs, and then you don't know, you stop doing it because you don't see your instant gratification, right? Because really that's it. We're so used to instant gratification that we forget that this is a long game. We stop playing the long game and we want instant gratification. We are so misguided by this social media. Instant gratification. Everything is so expressed right now that when something takes longer, we want to give up. Does this make a feel like a thing for you? You know, does this make sense? Because it does for me. If you're used to like getting things, like even like, I don't know, have you played Candy Crush? I still play it to the day. And, you know, for a while, I was just like all the time playing Candy Crush. And then like just getting this thing of like, oh my gosh, you want a next step. You want it. I just wanted to stay there. It's instant gratification, right? So we forget about longer term. We forget about how our actions, our consistency, our accountability to ourselves make such a huge difference. A lot of people who work with me, one of the key things that they value is the accountability. Why? Because if they are accountable for themselves, it's amazing, right? But sometimes it's hard to be accountable for yourself when so many things happen in life and you're inside your head and everything feels a little bit complicated, right? So a lot of people come and they're like, Lainey, really what I value is like your accountability and you just steering me back into this space where I keep doing it and I keep showing up and like you remind me that there is like consistency, right? That being consistency is key, okay, basically. Anyway, so we spoke about, who wants to say it in the chat? Like, what have we like the 3 main things that we have covered today? I know it sounded like she's just telling stories. She's going somewhere, but I am going somewhere. And before I forget, I want to share this other story with you because this story is like so beautiful. I love it. Like the first time I heard this story, Like I wanted to cry. And today I've been feeling like crying. I think it's like, like the rain is just like making me feel like very watery. But so they say that when like up there in the universe, right, where all the souls live, there was one day when there were like a bunch of souls. They were told, hey, who wants to go to the blue planet experiment, right? And some souls raised their hands. They didn't really know what it was, and they were like, oh yes, I want to go, I want to go, and I want to go. These amazing, super expansive souls, they wanted to go and experience the blue planet, right? As a moment comes, and it's like they're ready to be sent into this blue planet for the experiment. These massive, expansive souls that have no container are told that they need to fit into a body. I'll just grab this as an example, right? Usually I like a bottle, and they're like, so you have to fit in here. And people are like, the souls were like, what do you mean? Like, I'm expansive, I'm big. Yes, but you have to go and fit inside this container that we call body. So you can go and experience the human experience in the blue planet. And that's not it only. You have to actually make contracts with other souls of what's going to happen once you go into the earth. And you are going to forget your expansive, big soul, like this huge container, because you have to go and like really experience this and remember how you are so big, and you're not just this container, but you won't remember anything. So then the souls are a little bit scared. Some of them, they're like, okay, are you sure? Like, do we really need to do it this way? Do we really need to get into this like body container? And they're like, yes. So they start, let's say, like if I open this one, all right, and then they start putting in the, like, putting. Yes, I thought this would happen if I open up this. They would connect instead of like the regular speakers. So they go, so all these amazing souls are sent to the earth inside these containers that we call body, to have these bodily experiences where there's contracts and agreements on who's supposed to teach you what in this life. Right? Isn't this like such a wonderful, wonderful, magnific opportunity for us to remember that we are so much more than this container of our body, that our energy resonates, that our vibrations go wide, that is not just like, this is not where it ends, right? Our hearts is an electromagnetic field sending waves, magnetic waves out there, right? And if we do things from our heart, it just makes such a huge difference. It's just a game changer. Because literally what's going to happen is that people are going to resonate with you, with who you are, with your message. It just goes beyond anything that you could imagine. So when we're talking about selling retreats from a heart-centered perspective, right? And this is something that I want to make sure that everyone knows. Like for me, it's all about heart-centered, but profitable, in alignment with your money mindset, like really for growth and expansion, and just like really knowing that where you want to go and having this big vision, right? But it's all about heart-centered approach. How do we let our heart lead and our mind follow? How do we heal our relationships with the masculine and the feminine so they work together instead of against each other? Okay, so what is your thought behind this like small story that I shared with you? Is there anything that comes along? Is there anything that feels like, okay, this is good, this makes sense, like, or maybe this sounds like far-fetched, like, is she crazy? Why is she sharing this story with me? Any feeling is welcome. Yes, it's part of what I teach and bring forth as a channel. It resonates a lot. Yeah. The first time I heard this story was actually in this women's retreat that I was talking about. And I did not plan this. So it's like, I was like, I want to share this story. Like, I was in the energy of that space. And when I heard it, it just like it sank inside my body in a way that I cannot begin to describe. Like, it just felt right. Like, it felt like something that my body, like my energy, my everything was waiting to hear, to listen to. I got goosebumps. Like I was like tearing a little bit. I'm not like a big crier. I'm more like tear kind of like person. So I was like tearing up with this story. And it just like, it felt so powerful inside of my body. It was just like, this is it. Like, you needed to listen to this, to hear to this, right? So yes. I know it's a little bit like a thing here today, but I'm gonna just like bring it back all together, right? So if we're talking about like heart-centered approach to sales, to pricing, to creating your concept for your retreat, this is so important, right? I want to just like bring it into this space where we're like putting all things together. And I can listen, my dog, he's like howling because he's like asking to come inside with the rain. And yeah, so anyway, after this, he gets to have, I'll dry him off and bring him inside the house. Oh, my baby. Anyway, so I want to bring everything down to this space. So I want to bring us into this like space of like when we're doing something heart-centered from our connection and what we really want to create, anything is possible. Anything is possible. You can get to create the life of your dreams, the business of your dreams, the retreats of your dreams. Anything that you want to create, you get to do. Because this is a world of possibilities and opportunities, right? So if we want to do this and it's coming from a heart center, people are going to resonate. They're going to be like called into your vibration. They're going to be like, I just want to, like, I want more of you. So many times. And I say this and I truly mean it. I offer a lot of like free content. Like I have the podcast, I have free classes almost every month. I have the challenges are like 5 days of like awesomeness. I have free ebooks. I give a lot. The reality is that I could give every single piece of my program and there will still be people who would come and be like, I want you in a personal experience. Someone could come, they could take all the scripts. Anyway, I don't really use scripts, but let's say I have scripts. So they could take all the scripts and teach the same words that I do. And it would not have the same result. Because they did not have the same experiences that I've had in the world. Like, I remember one day I was sitting with my brother and we were just like talking about one moment in time in our lives when we were like before teenagers. Like, yeah, maybe I was like 12 and he was 8, something like 10, yeah, or something like that. And we were remembering this moment, right? And the way we remember that moment, we were both there, we know, with the same people, the same upbringing, the same parents. Our experience was completely different. I remember I was like so shocked. I was like uncomfortable. I didn't feel like I wanted to be there. And my brother, he remembers the piña colada, you know? You're like, oh, it was okay. I was drinking, like, of course, virgin, right? But I was drinking my piña coladas. I was just playing with other kids. Like, it was cool, right? And I was just like, I was in our experience were completely different, even though we have so many similar things in our upbringing, right? We grew up in the same house with the same parents, same traumas in a way, same experiences, same happy moments, same trips. Still, completely different experiences, right? So what you teach, and this is where I'm coming, huh? I'm landing this. What you teach is powered by your experiences. You can give everything away and still have people signing up for your programs, for your retreats, and everything. You can, because no one else is going to be powered by your experiences. Live is not compared to like pre-recorded. And when you're scaling your business, you need to have more pre-recorded and and this is perfect. There's certain things that are technical. They probably don't require actually like live. But when we're talking about things that are super, super important, like our own connection with other human beings, like how do you connect with other human beings? Everything is pre-recorded. How do you build community if you don't if it's you in front of your screen? No. Yeah. There's certain things, there's certain ways we can do it. And I don't want to go, this is like a whole like course strategy, right? But it's like, okay, you have like lunches and then you have like these pre-recorded videos when they have access to Boxer or Telegram or a WhatsApp group where they can ask questions, right? So they have a little bit of like, there is this mix of like a live experience, but the pre-recorded, right? So they can actually ask their questions. I'm doing that with my Your Perfect pricing program. That is not something that I really like put out there as an offer. It's just like more of an internal thing yet because it's so good. I was kind of keeping it for myself, but now, and for like my private clients, so now it's like ready to come out, it's like calling to be birthed into the space. And it's going to have this like mix because like so many things you have to go and do on your own because it's about reflection and your self-worth and so many other things. So it's so powerful. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. See, I said I could just like start and then keep going and keep going and keep going. And thank you all of you who have stayed on with me until now, because we are landing the mothership. We are landing the mothership right now. Okay, I'm doing this. Okay, so the last thing I said, like we are powered by our experiences, right? So many people go through the victim mode, right? It's normal. It's kind of like the way so many people were raised. Like we cannot even like judge them, like the only thing that is in our hands is like, and it's a personal choice if we stay there or we change it, right? If we stay the victim or we become the hero of our story. Right. And when we're in this space, we can see that so many people are there, right? But your only like really real responsibility in this world is with yourself. Because if you improve, you become better, then you can help more people. You can become better for others, right? And then other people are going to see it and they're like, huh, this is so good. Like I have a friend, she really has like a lot of issues communicated with her husband, because they speak different languages basically, right? They both speak Spanish, but like they communicate in completely different ways and their needs are completely different. And she has like so many issues. And so many times I've been like talking to her about like how you learn to communicate, right? And then I told her like about this book that I really like it's like nonviolent communication. And she was like, at the beginning, she was really not into it. And it took her like 1 year, but then later on she read that one. And then she read Crucial Conversations. That is an absolutely amazing book, by the way, if anyone like wants to read it. I took a course on Crucial Conversations. It's so powerful, right? And then she shifted the way she's talking to her family, to her husband. There's still work to be done, but she has improved just by seeing the example of like me communicating better and improving my relationship with the people around me. Me being able to tell her that I see certain things that I don't agree in her behavior from a loving and caring place. Right? So we get to choose if we stay the victim or we become the hero of our stories. And because if we become the heroes of our stories, people are going to be reflected on that. And then we start raising the vibration of everyone around us. So if you're powered by your experiences, nothing can stop you. You can choose your experiences to like hold you back, or you can use them as fuel. Okay. And this is your choice. Like, this is literally your choice. There is no one else in this world that can make this choice for you. So if you choose to power your life through your experiences and really share this with the world, and you're consistent, yes, I am landing this. Okay. If you are consistent, you are accountable with yourself, or you hire someone to be accountable with you, it doesn't matter, right? Or you get a friend who can be accountable with you. So if you're consistent, you're accountable, and you have a purpose, a very, very clear purpose, this calling inside of you that is just saying, oh my God, yes, this is really where I want to go in with my life. This is like the impact that I'm going to create in the world. This is how I change the world. This is how I do the things that I love. And I get to do it in a beautiful, beautiful way. And then I fix my mindset. I allow the world, the universe, God, Pachamama, however you want to call it, to gift me with all this beautiful energy of abundance in so many different layers, not just money, but in just like relationships and family. Then there is nothing that's going to stop you from having your dream business, hosting your dreams retreats and selling them out. Nothing. Nothing will stop you. Because the reality is that 99% of the times, the one stopping us from doing something and making a change in our lives, it's ourselves. Like, honestly speaking, like my program, Mastering the Art of Retreat Planning, I wrote a 110-page book in like a week with all the information. And I knew I wanted to make it a group program. It took me 7 months to decide that I actually wanted to launch it as a program. Until one moment where I was sitting down and I was like, this is it. And then I made my mind, right? And then I launched it. It was an intensive, it was like 5 days, kind of like retreat style. I did a beta testing and I was like, okay. And then I went and I fixed it. I was like, no, it needs to be longer format. It needs to be 12 weeks because I want people to actually be implementing the things as we go. If it's so intense, there's no time for them to actually integrate it and then implement it, right? Because so many times we take courses and what happens is it's like another book in a library that you never read. So I didn't want to do that. So then we started having 3-month containers, right? So awesome. And I was like, more accountability is needed. So I added power hours. So once a week, like you sit down, you join a Zoom group with everyone in the program and you work on something for this. So you make it happen. So it's not just staying in the knowledge area, you're actually implementing it, right? And then my heart was telling me, Lainey, you need to do a container where there's like a higher touch point. When it's just not just about the retreat, it's about how retreats fit into your whole business ecosystem. How does it fit everywhere? Like, how do you make, like, we talk more about sales and more about marketing. And I was just like, what do I want to do? And I was like, I don't know. This container is not, it doesn't feel like 3 months. It feels like 6. And it feels like it needs the same amount of like sessions around the basic kind of thing, like for just a retreat piece, then those same amount of things for topics that are like on a BAP level, that are on an upgrade, that are like really on this holistic view, like the big vision, the big picture, and like setting goals and creating like marketing plans, and really going deeper into how do you make retreats into this space and you connect them into this beautiful, beautiful area. And then I was like, they need to have power hours. And I was like, oh, we need to talk about boundaries in business. It's like so huge. Like I knew I had to set more boundaries in my life. So I went and I took a course on boundaries, and I'm always reading books about boundaries because it's something that I've struggled with in my life. So I'm like, if I want to change it, I have to take an action about it, right? So I was like, boundaries. So someone is coming and talking about boundaries, communication skills. Like a friend of mine, previous coaching client, she has a TED talk with 3 million views. She teaches people how to communicate properly. She works with people in Google and Facebook. She's gonna come and do a masterclass. I was like, this needs to be feel like such an upgrade, right? Such a growth. And then I was like, it still needs more. I want more. My heart was like more. And I was like, I'm adding 6 one-on-one sessions. What? I couldn't even believe it myself when I just got this message, right? Like to myself. And I was like, yes, I want them to succeed. I want to be able, I am helping steer the wheel back when you're getting, making sure that it's very accountable, it's very personalized. I don't believe in cookie cutter strategies. So I would not teach you cookie cutter strategy, just so you try it and you're like, I don't really like it. And then you're like, this was a waste of my money. So because I don't believe in that, and I just want to help you and show you the different way, so you choose the one that works for you, then I was like, I need to add these 6 one-on-one coaching sessions. And so I did. So then the BAP option for Mastering the Art of Retreat Planning came to life. I was like, what? Did this just happen? And I know this BAP program is like the next step towards my mastermind. I just know it. I know the flow because I am in the flow of my energetic vibration that is aligned with my purpose, with my message, with what I want to create. So everything works together. There are no separate things. Like my personal life is not separate from my business, because my business has a piece of my energy. It has my energetical imprint. So who I am in my personal life is who I am in my business life. Thank you, Rachel. Anyway. Oh my gosh, I got excited, right? This is awesome. Okay. Anyway, so yes, it's all about filling your purpose, right? Ibra, we're just about to finish our call. But it's okay. We have time for some coaching questions, so it's perfect. Okay, so as I was saying, when you're aligned with your purpose and what you want to create for your life, anything is possible. And everything starts happening in a beautiful way. I cannot tell you how many times my students have been inside my program and they finish a session and they send me a message, Lainey, I just sold 2 spots for my retreats. It's just because of the energetic shift. Like I changed my mindset, and then 2 people signed up without me doing anything but having my website, right? And I'm saying this is the case for everyone, but in general, yes. There was someone inside of my 5-day challenge. He sent me a message. He said, you know what? I just watched your first session, but after that first session, someone signed up for my retreat. I'm like, awesome. I'm so happy I'm able to help in any way, possibility, and capacity. Okay, so now that you know a little bit more about me and really this thing, I'm just oh my gosh, this is so powerful. Oh my gosh, this session was absolutely amazing. I just felt so connected with my purpose and what I'm doing in this world that I want to share this with you. So, if you are interested in learning more about how mastering the art of retreat planning could help you propel your business in the future and create the life of your dreams, release all the money mindset blocks, create consistency, bring accountability into the table, I invite you to book a 20-minute call with me. You can see the information at the bottom of the page or in the caption if you're listening to this in the podcast. And just book a time for us to get to know each other, to connect. Like, no questions asked. There's no space for like, oh, I'm gonna push you to join for something that is not the right thing. But if you're curious about how your life could look like after joining Mastering the Art of Retreat Planning, I highly recommend that you just book a time and we can have a conversation and we can have some fun and can laugh. I can get to meet your amazing soul that is so connected with her purpose or his purpose. And if you're still like not super clear about it, let's figure it out. We all have a reason why we're here in this world. So thank you so much for watching. This is such a wonderful experience and opportunity for me to be here and be sharing all the things that I love. So thank you, thank you, thank you for staying all the way until the end. And I hope to see you next time.